Yesterday's stock market craziness was off the charts. We had this dude, Jerome Powell, who made a little speech and issued a little statement, and we saw the markets skyrocketing upwards and then crashing and plummeting afterwards. And all this coming down from one person using a few little words here and there. Not even what he did, just random words he has. Who is this guy, and how does he have so much power in our society to make our currency inflate or deflate like that? And we're going to be talking about this craziness and just on the end, just what this really bodes for things and why this is so insane. What you make means nothing. All that matters is what some banker in some far-off city says to some teleprompter. Okay, this craziness is changing to a world where we are going to be looking at not the zeros and ones on the screen, not all the craziness, but rather just what do you produce? What is your value? And your value is going to be much more tangible. What assets do you have? Not what assets does some bank somewhere say you have. Because that is all about to change. Now, my friends over at Genesis Gold Group are sponsoring this video, and they will help you move your money out of stocks, bonds, all that, into gold, silver, platinum. Platinum's looking pretty good right now, actually. Silver is very, very good, of course, you know me. But you can move your retirement funds into vaulted silver, gold, and if you mention this channel, they will do so without any setup costs. You can find them down in the description down below. Give them a call. Just hear what they have to say and find out more about what it would look like to transition some of your funds over there. You can do some of your funds, you can do all of them. All right, so that isn't too far off the discussion point here, talking about financial assets, is it? But a lot of us have a lot of food stocked up, and you should. A lot of us have invested some serious money into real estate, particularly real estate in a good jurisdiction, where you're further away from the zombie hordes of the city, because that's important. But a lot of you are still in cities. A lot of you don't have all that much stockpiled, food-wise, resources, components. I was watching Southern Prepper 1 just recently, and I love his whole take on a hardware store. That's one of the roles that he wants to stock up for, is that he can be the hardware store for people in his group and in the community. And so he's stocking up nails and his precious metals, as he once put it. His precious metals are useful metals. Now, that's not to say that precious metals don't have a place, but what have we stockpiled? What do we really have? Because a lot of us have worked these jobs where we're making fairly decent money, right? Or whatever that is for you. But then you start thinking about how you can transfer $15, $20 an hour into stuff. And you start thinking about how many potatoes you can get for $15. And, you know, now I understand it's a lot less potatoes than you could get last year for $15. But whatever it is you do, for 1 hour's worth of work, you can actually get some pretty remarkable things. You go to the Dollar Tree and you can get a whole 15 items off the shelf, and you look at those things and you say, it would take me more than an hour to make all of these things, right? You get a whole bunch of canned goods and from the store at 56, 58 cents from Walmart or Aldi, and you're looking at like, gee, it would take me more than an hour to pressure can, you know, these 30 cans or 25 cans of beans and vegetables and everything like that. It would take me longer than that to make this. I mean, not to mention making the steel for it, right? So when you start thinking about like the amount of time that you put into work and how hard you work, and then you can look at like the things you can buy. It's really a disparity because somebody somewhere is making those things for $15. Well, actually less than that because they're pocketing a bunch of that. And that's these factories that are just really remarkable. But a lot of these factories don't exist in the United States anymore. They've moved overseas. And those factories are operating under a certain efficiency that the dollar being strong has additional purchasing power in those countries, like over in Dragon Country. Those prices are artificially depressed. You can buy stuff for a lot cheaper than you should be able to. I know that Dollar Tree has become the $1.25 tree. And soon we may see that become the $2 tree, the $5 tree. Because as the price of the dollar starts to drop, as the price of the Chinese renminbi goes up, you're going to find those things that are manufactured over there in Dragon Country are going to become a whole lot more expensive. In fact, everything around the entire world is going to become a whole lot more expensive. Inflation hasn't been hurting Americans nearly as much. I know, it doesn't sound right, but it's true. Haven't been hurting Americans quite so much because the dollar keeps getting stronger, because everyone else's countries are collapsing. Their currencies are collapsing. Believe me when I say, when the dollar starts to drop, the world will change overnight for Americans. Your prices will stop going up and start shooting up. Because we've been protected by the strong dollar from a lot of the worst of inflation. Other countries have had it far worse already, and it will soon be the United States' turn to experience this. The things that you're stockpiling, physical assets, things you can pick up and say, this is mine. It's sitting on my property, and no one else has a right to it. These things are going to be the sane, sanity world that we are going to be coming out of this clown world into. Because this world right now, where you can have massive cars that are super expensive, but you never were able to purchase them, you're still kind of paying the bank, that's not your car. That's the bank's car. The assets that we have, if you've actually purchased them, these things, there's going to be a day of reckoning. And we've all been talking about SHTF, the food shortages, the food collapse, the supply chain collapse, however you want to put it, the end of the world as we know it, Teotihuacan, right? There's a day of reckoning coming. You cannot cheat on money for so long and there not be consequences. We're coming to that. We had this dude in, where is it, New York Fed? I forget where he bases his operations out of. But Jerome Powell at the Fed issued a little typed up statement, and all the algorithms started moving the markets up and down by billions and billions of dollars. And then he came out and did a little press conference and he read his little script, and billions and billions of dollars up and down. Because it's all a sham. It's all a lie. It's really just a collusion between the U.S. government and the Fed. And you're going to be the loser of it. I'm going to be the loser of it. It's all rigged against us. So you need to start thinking about how you're going to step out of this crazy system and stocking up on things, becoming more self-sufficient. These are truly the answers to how to get out of this crazy system. Protect yourself. Protect your finances. Finish paying off things as best you can, if you can. Getting cheaper things if you can't pay off your car. Get a cheaper car. Get a cheaper form of transportation. Do whatever you can to make whatever you have yours and not anyone else's. That's honest. I know it's old school, right? Honesty and integrity and old-timey values. Friends, they're going to be coming back in style. When people start panicking, they're going to want to find people who are honest, who are speaking plain truth and not mumbo-jumbo about stacking mortgages and bundling them together into mortgage-backed securities and trading them up and down. Friends, if someone can't explain it to you simply, it's probably just a scam. And that's the gosh darn truth. All right, folks, if you found this video to be useful, helpful, you might want to check out this video from me right here. Otherwise, I will see you later. Steve Poplar out.